What is banking concept of education? If I ask such a question, I think some answers will be coming into your mind. Actually, I'm not a prophet. I'm not able to predict your mind, but I may try to predict your answer here. If I ask, what is banking concept of education? Most of you will feel that it is something related to the loans or the educational loans given to students. Some provisions. So some privileges, some special privileges offered to students to get loan from different banks, from some nationalized banks such as SBI, Punjab National Bank, and such banks. Though I am not a prophet, here there is a high possibility for becoming my prediction true. Am I right? Yes. Most of you might have felt that it's something related to educational loan or such things. Again, I'm sorry. It is not related to any bank. It is not related to any financial aspect of education. It is the view of Paulo Freire, one of the greatest educationists the world has ever seen, about the traditional formal educational system. He threw some sharpened arrows of criticism against the so-called traditional formal educational system existed during his childhood days. Banking concept is a term coined by Paulo Freire to depict the so-called traditional formal educational system. According to Paulo Freire, in traditional formal educational systems, students are considered as empty bank accounts, because we feel that students are not grown-up people. They haven't got any ideas, they haven't got any views, they haven't got any solution for the contemporary issues. They are just like empty vessels, so they are empty bank accounts. And the teacher's duty is to deposit ideas, pieces of knowledge, theories, principles, and such things into that empty bank account. This is known as banking concept of education. So if you ask what is banking concept of education, don't tell that it is something related to educational loans. You should tell banking concept is the view of Paulo Freire on the so-called traditional formal educational system. According to Paulo Freire, the so-called educational system, the existing educational system, sees student as an empty bank account, and it is the duty of the teacher to deposit knowledge, skills, and such things in that empty bank account. He was against this banking concept. He was against this banking style of education. He was against this banking mode of education. According to Paulo Freire, you should see a child as an andragogue. Andragogue means a grown-up man. You should see a child, a student, just like a grown up man. As the grown up man keeps, children also keep some ideas, some concepts, some views on the contemporary issues. Don't see them as empty bank accounts. See them as some people who have got ideas, who have got feelings, who have got views, who have got knowledge, who have got experiences. So he was against this banking style of teaching, banking style of education in the traditional formal educational system. And he also introduced the term culture of silence. When you hear the term, sometimes you may be feeling that it is the culture of some marginalized groups, some silent culture, because the culture of marginalized groups is always neglected. So it is known as the culture of silence. I'm sorry, it is a mistake. It is not right. It's not right. Culture of silence is the state of a student inside the traditional formal classroom. According to Paulo Freire, in the traditional formal classroom, students are not allowed to express their views because they are considered as the empty bank accounts. They are considered as some people who haven't got any ideas. So the teacher would teach each and everything. The teacher would tell his views. The teacher would tell some views in the textbooks, some items in the textbooks. Students were to sit passive without getting any opportunity for expressing their views on different aspects. And this state of student inside the traditional classroom is called by Paulo Freire as culture of silence. So culture of silence is the condition of the students in the traditional classroom who are always compelled to sit passive by listening to whatever taught by the teachers without having an opportunity for expressing their own views on different aspects. And according to Paulo Freire, when you make the students keep culture of silence inside the classroom, actually you are making them keep this culture of silence throughout their life. And when they become grown-up people and see some injustice from some people, they will never respond because they haven't got the capacity to respond against social injustice because they have been keeping culture of silence inside the classroom, and it might have become a behavioral pattern. It might have become a habit for them. So they will never respond against any sort of social injustice in the past. They will not be forwarding any sort of views on contemporary issues. They will always keep this culture of silence throughout their life because this culture of silence is a product inside the classroom. And he wrote a book called Pedagogy of Oppressed. Again, I'm not blaming you, actually I'm not insulting you. When a person hears such terms, even if an expert in education, when he hears the terms used by Paulo Freire first time, then some mistaken notions will come to the mind before getting the explanation. So when you hear the term pedagogy of oppress, when we, I don't use you, when we hear the term, then we will just think that it is a book which is talking about the education of the marginalized people, or the education of the poor people. But actually, oppressed, who is oppressed? According to Paulo Freire, students are oppressed. You have to combine all the points. According to Paulo Freire, students have got some ideas, they have got some feelings, they have got their own solutions for contemporary issues. But they are considered as empty bank accounts in the traditional formal educational classrooms, and they never get any chance for expressing their views. So they are oppressed. They are oppressed by the teachers inside the classroom without getting any chance, any opportunity for expressing their views on different aspects. So pedagogy of oppressed means pedagogy of children, or it is child-centered pedagogy. It is a student-centered pedagogy. Here oppressed ones are students without getting any opportunity for expressing their views on different aspects of life, on different aspects of society inside the classroom. So they are oppressed by teachers in the traditional formal classroom. So Paulo Freire tells that I am introducing a new pedagogy called pedagogy of oppress, and that is child-centered pedagogy. And he wrote a book called Pedagogy of Oppress to introduce a new teaching methodology, a new way of teaching inside the classroom. And his pedagogy, the newly introduced pedagogy, is known as critical pedagogy. Again, you have to go back to the terms introduced by Paulo Freire. According to Paulo Freire, you are considering students as empty bank accounts. Some people who haven't got any idea, who haven't got any feeling, who haven't got any view, just as grown-up people have got. And we are not giving them any sort of opportunity for expressing their views inside the classroom, and we just compel them to keep culture of silence. According to Paulo Freire, students have got ideas. They have got their own views on contemporary issues. They have got their own solutions on contemporary issues. So, we should make use of a new pedagogy called critical pedagogy. That is, we should throw contemporary issues before the students. We should present the problems, and this educational idea put forth by Paulo Freire is also known as problem posing education. Critical pedagogy is also known as problem posing education, because critical pedagogy of Paulo Freire put forth an idea that contemporary issues should be presented before the students and let them think about different areas of the problem, different aspects of the problem, different aspects of contemporary issues, and let them find out some solutions for such issues. So let them think critically. You should let them think critically about different contemporary issues to find out some solutions for some such contemporary issues. And this is known as critical pedagogy. So critical pedagogy is a newly introduced pedagogy or teaching methodology by Paulo Freire, in which students are given some contemporary issues to be approached in a critical manner to find out solutions for such contemporary issues. As this pedagogy promotes presentation of problems before the students, is also known as problem posing education. And now I may bring before you a term issue-based curriculum. Actually, issue-based curriculum is the not a term used by Paulo Freire, but issue-based curriculum can be considered as a contribution of Paulo Freire, because issue-based curriculum is a product of the concept of critical pedagogy introduced by Paulo Freire. Now, whatever subject you are teaching to your students, you have to present some issues. Now, our curriculum, there are some 8 issues. Actually, I think this is not right, because if the teachers, or if you are selecting 8 issues and if you are presenting all such issues before the students, actually again you are making them think on some issues which you are created. These issues may not be issues for the students. You have to let them select contemporary issues. Yes, it's already there. So issue-based curriculum is a modern concept. Nowadays, whatever subject you are teaching to your students, maybe you are teaching English language, maybe you are teaching mathematics, maybe you are teaching science, maybe you are teaching biology, maybe you are teaching physics, maybe you are teaching chemistry, maybe you are teaching social science, maybe you are teaching economics. You have to present some contemporary issues before your students to let them think about such issues and to find out solutions. And nowadays we are using social constructivism plus issue-based curriculum. Though this issue-based curriculum is not a term introduced by Paulo Freire, it also can be considered as a contribution of Paulo Freire, because this issue-based curriculum is a product of critical pedagogy introduced by Paulo Freire. This is something about the contributions of this great educationist to the modern education. Thank you very much.